Enforcement Directorate has moved an application before the trial court seeking judicial custody for 14 days for Arvind Kejriwal after he surrenders before Tihar jail authorities. Remember, he's currently been granted 21 days of interim respite for the purposes of campaigning. His team had argued that there is going to be irreversible damage to the Chief Minister of Delhi and the head of Aam Aadmi Party if he's not allowed to campaign for elections that come only once in 5 years. But now, after he surrenders, which is to take place on the 1st of June, the Enforcement Directorate has moved an application seeking further judicial custody for 14 days. Ramay, what more can you tell us?
Absolutely. So let me tell our viewers that the judicial custody of Arvind Kejriwal in the ED's exercise scam case ends today. However, he is out on interim bail as per the Supreme Court directions. Now, as per the Supreme Court directions, he has to surrender on June 2nd. So, to be prepared with that, to deal with that, the Enforcement Directorate today moved an application in advance seeking 14 days of judicial custody for Arvind Kejriwal, as so when he surrenders before the Tihar jail. The ED stated that we are moving this application for abundant caution and we are moving it in advance so that the other side does not say that we didn't move it in time. The counsels for ED requested the court to take the application on record and hear it on June 2nd when Arvind Kejriwal surrenders before the Tihar jail. So 14 days of judicial custody has been sought. However, the application has been moved in advance. The ED apprised the court that why we are moving this application in advance is because after Arvind Kejriwal surrenders before the Tihar jail, a judicial custody order is required for a person to remain in jail. As of now, he is on interim bail, and if the judicial custody order is not passed by the trial court, he won't be able to stay in Tihar jail when he surrenders. So an advance order has to be passed of his judicial custody. The application has been moved today. It has been taken on record by the trial court. Now the matter will be heard on June 2nd, and a 14 days of judicial custody has been sought for Arvind Kejriwal.
All right. Thank you, Ramay, for joining us with those details. Meanwhile, the Aam Aadmi Party chief, who has been charge-sheeted alongside his party by the ED, is currently out on interim bail in the Liquorgate case. The Supreme Court gave him relief so he could campaign for elections and then surrender to the authorities again on the 2nd of June. During this time, Kejriwal is not allowed to comment in public about the Liquorgate case probe. But according to the BJP, that is exactly what Kejriwal did in his speech at the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters yesterday before embarking on that march to the BJP headquarters.
इतने आरोप लगाए, अब कह रहे हैं कोई शराब घोटाला हो गया. शराब घोटाला हो गया. जनता पूछ रही है, भाई शराब घोटाला हो गया, पैसा कहां है? खुद ही जाके ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट में कहते हैं हां जी पैसे की तो कोई रिकवरी नहीं हुई. तो क्या हवा में हो गया क्या शराब घोटाला? कहीं बाकी रेड वेड मारते हैं, ये कहीं नोटों की गड्डियां मिलती हैं, कहीं ज्वेलरी मिलती है, यहां तो कुछ भी नहीं मिला. चवन्नी नहीं मिली. कहते हैं 100 करोड़ का घोटाला हो गया, 1000 करोड़ का 1000 रुपए भी नहीं मिले, 100 रुपए भी नहीं मिले. कहां गए सारे पैसे? बिल्कुल फर्जी केस इन्होंने बना के हमारे लोगों को गिरफ्तार किया.
He has brazenly defied the conditions passed by the Supreme Court. His order was unprecedented. There was no precedent for releasing a person for the purpose of campaigning. However, he has not respected the liberty that has been granted by the Supreme Court. And today, by commenting on the role of his case in brazen defiance of the Supreme Court order, clearly he doesn't believe in the rule of law, and he believes that he has every right to shamelessly, brazenly defy the institution.
Ramay, has Kejriwal violated his bail conditions?
So this issue was even raised up before the Supreme Court. However, the Supreme Court refused to take up this issue. Supreme Court stated that we won't be dealing with this. Now, the condition which was set up on the Arvind Kejriwal is that he won't talk about his role in the Delhi liquor scam case. Now, if we hear to these statements, so ED had even stated before the Supreme Court during the hearing that Arvind Kejriwal has violated the terms and conditions of the Supreme Court's order. However, the bench led by Justice Sanjeev Khanna had stated that our order is very clear. He has to surrender on June 2nd. Now, we are not going into any of such issues. While on the other hand...
please allow me to interrupt you there, but that comment was a different statement altogether. That hearing and those observations came from the Supreme Court when Arvind Kejriwal's this quotation was cited, where he said that if people vote for me, then I will not have to go back to jail on the 2nd of June where he's supposed to surrender. To which the court said, we will not interfere into this matter and we welcome critical analysis of our judgment. But this time around, he's being accused of violating the bail conditions because he is talking about Liquorgate, a scam where he's allegedly involved and is being investigated for. Is that a violation of the term and conditions set? Because as you just reminded us, it was only about his role. Did he speak about his role in the speech?
So exactly, we can say that he didn't speak about his role in the case, because these are the similar conditions which were even put on Sanjay Singh. Now, this talking about the exercise policy scam case wouldn't in itself be the breach of the conditions, but talking about his particular role, influencing the witnesses, talking to the witnesses, or talking or detailing his role in this whole liquor policy scam case would be violating the Supreme Court conditions. However, to say that they claimed a liquor scam took place, or to talk generally about it, or to tell about what ED is doing or what the other government is doing, to have general statements wouldn't exactly be the violations of the Supreme Court condition. Now, if it is the violation of the Supreme Court conditions and if it is felt by the other side, then it depends upon the agency or the appropriate people who are feeling so to move to the Supreme Court stating that he violated the conditions. However, that is what I was reminding, that it had come before the Supreme Court dealt with it and they refused to interfere.
All right. The BJP, nonetheless, Ramay, is going to make a political issue out of it. We'll see what the court has to say if the matter reaches the court. Thank you for joining us with those insights. Now, the Aam Aadmi Party MLAs have written to the Election Commission demanding stern and immediate action over the alleged threats to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's life. The MLAs affirm that a conspiracy has been hatched at the behest of the BJP and the PMO, as they believe that PM can go to any extent to harm Arvind Kejriwal. My colleague Ankit now joins us for more details on this. Ankit, what does the letter say?
So it's a one-page letter, Priya. I'm going to read out. The subject is seeking an appointment regarding open and serious threats against Honorable Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. We are bringing to your attention a serious threat to the life of Shri Kejriwal, who is also the convener of the AAP. In the past also, there have been attempts to physically assault him. Then it goes on to cite that the current complaint is regarding social media posts from an Instagram handle. It mentions who has seemingly defaced the Delhi Metro coach with a clear message to threaten the life of Arvind Kejriwal. He has also posted pictures of similar threat messages being scribbled in the Patel Nagar metro station. So there are threats allegedly scribbled in some form of vandalism in 2 metro stations. It then comes to the political aspect. In the past also, there have been multiple attempts to physically assault the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. We are very concerned about the safety and security of Kejriwal. It appears that the BJP-ruled PMO is planning an attack on the Delhi CM. We firmly believe that all this is being directed by the Prime Minister's office. Narendra Modi can go to any limits in order to harm Arvind Kejriwal. If any harm is caused to the safety and security of Kejriwal, then only and only Narendra Modi should be held responsible. We believe this matter is very serious and stern action needs to be taken up on the highest priority, including immediate arrest of the said person. We also request you to direct appropriate authorities to ensure safety and security of Arvind Kejriwal. So this is the letter signed by Saurabh Bharadwaj as the name, and all the AAP MLAs as well, to the Election Commission of India.
All right. Can they back their allegations with evidence, or is it just one of their shoot and scoot tactics that have been deployed on multiple occasions earlier? We will wait and get more details on that. Thank you, Ankit, for joining us. We take a very quick break.